Hey there. I've talked to a lot of home care agency owners, and almost every one of them can tell me off the top of their head their referral sources, their caregiver retention rate, and their revenue per client. But ask them how many hours a week they spend on email, scheduling their own calendar, and chasing down paperwork, and they usually have no idea. It's just a lot. Here's the problem with that: every hour an owner spends drafting emails or moving their own meetings around is an hour they're not spending on the thing that actually grows the agency, new referral relationships, new hires, new partnerships. That's not a time management problem. It's a delegation problem. And it's one of the most common ones I see in this industry. I'm Jeff Amon, Chief Revenue Officer at ClearDesk. In this video, I want to walk through exactly what an executive assistant VA does for a home care agency owner, how that role is different from the scheduling or coordination VAs we talk about elsewhere on this channel, and what to look for if you're thinking about bringing one on. Let's start with what this role actually covers, because executive assistant gets used loosely. An executive assistant VA works directly for the owner, not for the agency's operations. That distinction matters, and I'll come back to it in a minute. Day to day, that means five things. First, inbox management, triaging what actually needs the owner's attention versus what can be answered or filed without them. Second, calendar management, scheduling and rescheduling meetings, blocking focus time, and protecting that time once it's blocked. Third, follow up and making sure the things the owner said they do in a meeting actually get done instead of quietly disappearing. Fourth, light research and prep, pulling together background before a call with a referral source, a bank, or a potential partner. And fifth, coordinating the owner's own priorities across the rest of the business so nothing falls through the cracks between departments. None of that is caregiver facing or client facing work. It's owner facing work. And that's exactly the point. We've made other videos on this channel about scheduling VAs and platform trained VAs, people who work inside your operations, coordinating caregivers and clients inside a system like WellSky. That's essential work. And it solves a different problem. An executive assistant VA sits in a different place entirely. They're not managing your caregiver's schedules, they're managing yours. A scheduling VA protects your clients from coverage gaps. An executive assistant VA protects your time from everything that isn't growth. Owners sometimes try to solve this with the same hire, asking a scheduling VA to also handle their personal inbox and calendar on the side. In practice, that rarely works well. The scheduling VA's attention is already fully claimed by operations, and owner level admin work gets treated as an afterthought, which is exactly the work you can't afford to have treated as an afterthought. Let's talk about what this actually costs, because it's bigger than most owners assume. If you're the owner, your time is the highest value hour in the business. When you spend that hour formatting an email or hunting for a meeting slot, you're not just losing an hour, you're losing whatever that hour could have produced if it had gone toward a referral call, a hiring decision, or a new contract. And it compounds. Admin work expands to fill whatever time you give it. Answer email reactively all day, and it will take all day. This isn't a discipline problem, it's a structural one. As long as there's no one else filtering and handling it, it will always come first because it's the most urgent feeling thing in front of you, even when it isn't the most important. The owners I've seen grow fastest are the ones who treat their own calendar the same way they'd treat a scarce resource anywhere else in the business, something to protect deliberately, not something that gets whatever's left over after everything else is handled. So, what does it actually look like when an owner gets that time back? It looks like more calls with referral sources, case managers, discharge planners, hospital liaisons, the relationships that actually bring in new clients. It looks like actually following up on the partnership conversation you had 3 weeks ago instead of it quietly going cold. It looks like time to think about hiring your next caregiver coordinator instead of just reacting to the next fire. It is being available for the conversations that only the owner can have with a major referral partner, with a bank, or with a potential acquisition target, instead of missing them because your calendar was already full of things an assistant could have handled. And none of that requires more hours in the day. It requires the hours you already have going toward the right things. And if you're considering this, here's what actually matters when you're evaluating someone for this role. First, judgment on ambiguous requests. An executive assistant isn't just executing a checklist, they're making calls on what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Ask a candidate how they'd handle an email that isn't clearly urgent, but might be important. Their answer tells you a lot. Second, verified experience supporting an owner or executive directly, not just general administrative work. Supporting one person closely over time is a different skill than handling a shared team inbox. And third, communication style fit. This is a close, ongoing working relationship. You'll be handing over your calendar and your inbox to this person. If their communication style doesn't match how you actually work, friction builds fast, even if their skills are strong on paper. This is exactly why we don't treat an executive assistant placement like any other hire. We evaluate technical fit first. Has this person actually supported an owner or executive directly? And can they demonstrate it, not just describe it? Then we evaluate behavioral fit through disc profiling. So the VA's working style complements yours instead of working against it. Every candidate we place has been through our 6-stage talent assurance protocol: language testing, skills assessment, behavioral interviewing, background verification, and environment auditing, which is how we maintain a 0.5% acceptance rate across candidates. For an executive assistant role specifically, that vetting is what lets you hand over your calendar and your inbox with confidence on day one, instead of spending the first month double checking their judgment. Let me pull this together. Your time as the owner is the highest value hour in your agency, and admin work will always feel urgent enough to claim it unless something is deliberately protecting it. An executive assistant VA is built to do exactly that, not managing your operations, but managing you, so the hours you get back go toward referrals, partnerships, and growth instead of your inbox. If you want to talk through what this would look like for your agency specifically, book a call with ClearDesk, and our link is in the description. Thanks for watching. And if you're also trying to figure out what type of VA your agency needs more broadly, check out our video on the 3 VA role categories.